And here I go, episode 116, Manifesting with Meg. And I have special guest, Lisa Lopez. And I know that this is going to be a doozy of a show because Lisa is a master manifester. And I only say that to true experts when I am in the presence of greatness when it comes to manifesting, because I know manifestors and I know people who want to be manifestors, and she definitely is one. So welcome to the show, Lisa. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you, Meg. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I'm really excited. And today is the last day of August. It is a celebration of friendship. And I think that the theme today for August 31st is perfect for you. Light up every room with love. And you are love personified. And I know that this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful show in my year of Empowered with Purpose. Through Purpose. This is a show about transformations, dreams, inspiration, true happiness, and discovering bliss. This is yet a conversation away from extraordinary because it is time to wake up to a universe packed with possibility. So without further ado, let's set our intentions today, Lisa. As we all know on this show, we set our intentions at the outset. At the end, it comes full circle when we discuss the wonderful magical guide to bliss. And we actually get a insight from there that hopefully synchronizes with our intentions and offered to all of you as this wonderful party continues. So without further ado, like I said, let me introduce you all to Lisa Lopez. She's a certified. Hi, everyone. There you go. I mean, no, need I say any more? She is a certified happiness coach. She is all sorts of wonder in mental fitness training, retreat host now, which I love the fact that I'm getting to see that dream come into manifestation, because we basically talked about it at one point in time, and it just, here we are with you and your many, 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 many retreats we'll talk about in a bit. You are also the founder of Live Happy Coaching. So you specialize in helping women over 30 achieve greater happiness through your proprietary 6-week program, which you're going to talk about, that teaches people how to go from high stress, negative thinking to calm, laser focused action. She hosts transformational self-love retreats, like I said, for women in Sedona, Costa Rica, Hawaii, and Lake Tahoe. She creates safe, supportive spaces for women to reconnect with themselves and their happiness. She's got extensive training in the science of happiness, positive psychology, and positive intelligence. She's a professional certified coach, mentor coach through the International Coaching Federation. And also, of course, what I think she probably holds near and dear the most, she's a proud wife, mom, grandma, dog mom, Ironman athlete, and Boston Marathon finisher. She was invited on to be a guest on the Ellen Show, where she was recognized for her work with kindness. Lisa, so great to have you on our show today. I mean, my God, this is wonderful, energetic conclusion to a super blue moon, and super wonderful you. I am so excited, like I said, to have you on my season 6 and to bring all the inspiration that you have to share with others. So I'm going to let you add whatever I missed, or perhaps whatever, but I'm so happy that you're here. And, certified happiness coach. My God, how cool is that?
Yeah, I mean, it is very cool. I mean, often people,
Cool.
the probably most common question I get from people is, that a real job?
Like,
And my answer is yes, friends, it is a real job. You can spend your life helping others create greater happiness in their lives. And what a great job it is.
I mean, imagine that, bringing people closer and closer to what makes them happy. I always think about, why are we here, right? Why are we walking this earth? What is our purpose and our meaning? And if we could do that, whatever that happiness is for you, even better. And, like I said at the outset, the theme today, light up every room with love, is perfect for you, because I think if we go back in time once again to when we first met, I saw this beautiful girl at the front of the room, just smile from ear to ear. You could beam out, at least, the happiness equals love with you. And then we got to talking, and then it was just, an infusion of positivity, infusion of spirit, generosity, all of the above. So I really love this for you. And the quote today is, surround yourself with people who make you hungry for life, touch your heart, and nourish your soul. And I'm just going to take a little bit out of the insight in the magical guide. When you set out to live the proverbial play that is your life, make a conscious effort to draw on the characters who reflect the kind of journey you wish to experience. And I love that because you get to be the writer of your next chapter and you get to choose who you want as a part of that story. And I think that when you contemplate, or you really have the power of intention and awareness going out in the world, kind of getting centered with yourself, look around to see who you're attracting when you are feeling good, when you are feeling like you're on the right path, when you are getting questions around, ooh, where should I go next? Then keep looking out and see who shows up. And one person's light shared certainly does enable the light of love to shine as well. And that's something that you do so very well. You really do highlight other people's talents and shine on them. And I had another interview this week and she's like that too. And just, it's like amazing. It's not surprising to me that synchronicity continues. So the key to Bliss is write your own story, reflect on what kind of friendships you want in your play. So tell me a little bit about that around you. What are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed reading kind of this excerpt and this story that you provided, because it's really about going from being kind of on the reactive part of life to being intentional, and that's literally what happiness is all about. It's really being hyper aware of our need to keep that as a priority, and that includes not only what we're doing for ourselves inside and out, but also about the type of relationships that we want to create out in the world to help support the energy that we want to provide and grow, right? So yeah, I'm all aboard on this for sure. I mean, I think that people kind of think, oh, happiness just happens, which if you're lucky, it does in some aspect. But the reality is it's as important as going to the gym. It's as important as taking your vitamins every day, brushing your teeth. If you want more of it, then you have to make a more intentional part of your life. And that, again, includes all the relationships that you get to choose to have in your life.
You say that you're a mental fitness trainer, and I know that you're a fitness trainer, but I like the fact that you're calling your mental fitness trainer. What exactly does that mean for you, especially aligning with your live happy coaching, the whole idea that you show up in the world very differently?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So when I first started my practice, I was working pretty exclusively with the science of happiness and positive psychology, and heavily in the habits of happiness. And so, recognizing from the research that there are certain strategies that when you uh, apply them to your life consistently, you will experience more happiness, like across the board.
Yeah.
Things like gratitude, mindfulness,
Mhm.
connection, those kind of things. I was really curious about sustainability.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I would see initial results with my clients that were pretty transformational, but I would over time see things gradually kind of fall back into the way they were. They had the awareness piece.
Yeah.
I understand what I need to do, I understand what my blocks are. But the part they didn't have was the like the mental muscle, okay, the
Mm.
neural pathways that help to create and sustain that new behavior. So I started to get really into the research and understanding, what does that look like? Most people, if you're an average person, you have an average level of mental fitness, which means that you can handle the small to medium challenges of life without much effort. Okay. But what happens when the big challenges of life come? COVID. We
Yeah.
saw what happened.
Yeah.
People shut down, people
Yeah.
freaked out, people were fearful.
Yeah.
But what happens if you start to work on your mental fitness every day so that you aren't shut down by those inevitable challenges of life? And I want to use that word again, inevitable challenges of life.
Yeah.
They're going to arrive.
They happen. Whether you're ready for it or not, right?
But the point being, and this kind of plays into my fitness, my physical fitness thing, is you can do things every day to strengthen your mental fitness.
Yeah.
So when those things arrive, you're not taken off your game. You don't spiral into depression. You are able to navigate it with a little more ease and laser focus
Yeah.
to be able to get stuff done. So that's a part that I've really, really been adopting into my life and my practice over the last 2 years. And so now what I'm seeing is that sustainable happiness, which I really desire for every single human being in the world.
Yeah. Well, I think your point is really valid because life happens, right? We all know, and it's you just can't go. I mean, it's one thing to take your challenges, but permission to be human is a really big thing they talk about in the happiness studies curriculum. And the reality is when you're human, you feel the vast array of emotions. They all show up. It's like maybe not when you're ready for it, but they all show up. It's how long it takes you to move through the emotion, not avoid them, but move through. And you said you are a you are a physical fitness trainer as well. And I know that you do a lot of running. Obviously, you finished the Boston Marathon. That's pretty impressive because you have to even be invited. I want to learn a little bit about your journey. Like, how did you get here? Like, how did you get to this place in your life that is really, in many respects, kind of, groundbreaking? Because a lot of people, like you said, what is certified happiness coach? Is that really a job? And it's becoming more and more appreciated at not just a job, but something that's really necessary because of the mental health and wellness component that we're seeing more and more so.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, my story is it is a kind of an inspiring one. I was just like every probably other mom out there, you know, doing everything with my 2 kids. I have 2 boys. I was like PTA president, booster president, volunteered for everything. I was checking all the boxes of the things that I thought I should do
Yeah.
as a parent to keep my family afloat and well supported, and what other people's definition of happiness was. And then what happened was my 15-year-old son ended up getting incarcerated on the morning of his birthday. And we were blindsided.
Yeah.
I mean, our entire family, as we knew it, completely collapsed. I went into a huge depression. Everybody in my family went into a huge depression. My husband, my younger child, my son is now removed from our home. I was shrouded in guilt and shame. I felt like an absolutely complete failure as a mom. Here I am out here doing all these things, and my son is suffering.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Wow.
I wrote things off like, oh, he's just a teenager. Oh, that's just normal. It wasn't normal.
Yeah.
And it wasn't okay. And I think that's a really important message. If you feel something, explore it. People kept saying, oh, that's just teenagers. That's just teenagers. We need to remove that completely. When your kid is having behavioral issues and acting out, it's because they're suffering. It's not like they want to be this bad kid, And so we didn't know. We were raising our kids like our parents raised us, and everybody else. But what ensued was, as part of his rehabilitation and recovery, we were all required to go into an experiential, immersive life coaching program. And being the good mom I am, I'm going to show up there and I'm going to save my son, right? I'm going to save him from himself. So once I started to get in the program, I realized I was not just there to save him. I was there to save me.
Wow.
Me. It was like taking the blinders off.
Yeah.
And recognizing the life I was living was not the life I deserved.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It was just incredible. And there's, it's like, it's going down the rabbit hole, picking the red pill versus the blue pill. There's no going back to that again. When you have the awareness that you are living in shame, you have all these limiting beliefs. You're functioning from a place of fear and judgment in your life, with your parenting, in your marriage, with your relationship with yourself. Like, it was just like, oh my God, but here's what happened. I felt completely passionately that every man, woman, and child should have access to a life coach. And I wanted to be part of that solution. So
that was the first time that you ever involved with a life coach, like the whole notion of life coach. That was the first time with your son.
We didn't have life coaches in my family. We were trying to make rent in my family. There was no life coach.
Yeah.
It was the mentality: suck it up, buttercup, grind it out, no pain, no gain. Those antiquated mentalities that don't create space for a real emotion. And so I was just like, wow, I need to, spread the word. I want to get, so I was just but also I needed to heal myself and my family. So it took, I was applying the coaching that I learned. It was not this linear, right to the finish line. My
Yeah.
son was in jail. I'm trying to manage, it was crazy. But what I saw was the spark,
Yeah.
right? That spark where you're like, oh, there's something different out there. And this is really calling to me. So yeah, then that started my journey. And
So
oh, go
I
ahead.
just want to ask you a really quick question. The Lisa before this whole thing happened, and then the Lisa now, how do you feel as opposed to when you look back and you remember your life before?
So the main difference is that I'm in full acceptance of everything and everything I feel, everything I am and everything I
Yeah.
feel. Before there was a version of, I will say fundamentally, I think I was born I would say pretty cheerful,
Yeah, I would say.
right? Pretty cheerful, pretty happy. And I do, everybody's kind of born with a different set point of happiness. But what I had started to acquire over time from my influences, both, from, just social influences my family, was the facade.
Got it.
Don't burden people with your
Mhm.
unhappy emotions. Just how are you doing? Fine. I'm fine. Everything's great. It wasn't great. It wasn't great in my family of origin. And so that was what I saw, was it wasn't great in my family of origin. And yet everything was always made to look fine. That's what I embodied. So what I would say is now I am, and I don't like to use this word too much because I think it's overused, but I really am authentic. I'm congruent.
Yeah.
I'm congruent with what's happening on the inside and the outside. If I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day. If I'm having a good day, I'm having a good day. And there's
Yeah.
space for all of that without judgment.
I love that you said, or very vulnerably shared the whole idea that, oh my God, I'm this mom. I'm out in the world and I'm this mom, this perfect mom I want to show to the world. I volunteered this, that, and the other. And what happened in the shame spiral, but you didn't seem to have that. You just went into, I'm going to show up for my kid mode. Like that is, a lot of people don't ask for help because they're very embarrassed to ask for help because, oh my God, if I let everyone know that I'm not, who I say I am or who I want to be or whatever it is, or just it's exhausting to hold up that facade for your life. I can tell you that much. But then what will happen to me when I'm vulnerable? Like,
Yeah.
what will happen? Like, where will I be? Like, how will I know myself anymore? Like, how do you, I mean, I know this is a question that I really wasn't intending to ask, but I really think that you're the perfect person to ask is how do you come to peace with that new you that comes to be because of the challenges that we face?
Yeah. That's, my relationship with vulnerability has completely changed over the years.
Mhm.
I actually, at this point in my life and spiritual growth, crave deeper vulnerability
Oh,
because of the outcome of being truly, truly connected to myself without fear.
wow.
And
Yeah.
so it's not, I remember when we decided with my son, I remember this. I remember we had a choice. So we could either go through the court system or we could send our son to a behavioral modification school where we literally had zero contact with him for 2 months. Couldn't see him, we couldn't write to him, we couldn't do anything. So I'm trusting other people that I don't know to take care of my child because at that point he was brainwashed. He had gone there. He needed to be completely kind of. And I remember my mom saying to me, Lisa, I just want to be completely honest with you, but your son may never forgive you for this.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And I said, you know what? I know in my heart that I have to love him more than he loves himself right now. And I also have to keep him alive.
Wow.
And there's no choice.
I got goosebumps. I mean, I to have that kind of awareness at a time in your life where it is life or death for someone you absolutely love, sometimes before yourself. Wow. Wow. And at the end of the day, we can say, thank God, things turned out a very positive way. But but even facing the questions of your own mother that's saying that, he might not forgive you, those are the fears. But it sounds to me like, at least this point, on the other side of fear, what do you find? Right. And that's really fascinating, because one of the things I wanted to ask you today, and specifically before we go into your quotes, how did you become such a manifester of your life? So sometimes we do go through life kind of a numbness, or just kind of plodding through, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, and when it happens, like, we're all like, we shut it off. Oh, I just got lucky. But that's not the way we intentionally think. It's not luck. It's lucky. Yes, we're lucky girls, but it's what we're putting out in the world. And as we go through your quotes, I wanted to ask you that, like, how do you intentionally wake up in the morning putting out in the world such wonderful things? Because you do in everything you do.
Yeah, to answer that question, I would just have to say that, this has been a gradual process. I mean, I'm like probably many of the people who are watching this right now. I kind of started with curiosity,
Mm.
From Abraham Hicks and kind of like all the mainstream, Wayne Dyer, and like all the mainstream people who you kind of brought this idea to us. I have spent almost 1 year, my birthday's in 2 weeks, 51 years moving from head to heart.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
51 years, right?
Beautiful.
And it's not, I'm far from done, but as that process has happened, I have experienced the most joy in my life. And so that's unarguable, right? It's like you can't dispute that. If I'm coming from here more and more, and my life feels so much more enriched and filled with love and joy, and the people that are around me, oh, everybody's out here trying to spread love and joy. Oh my gosh, this just feels right.
Yeah.
You don't stop doing it. You lean in. You're like, how can I open my heart more? How can I, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really it. Just in understanding that is just, I wake up every morning in gratitude. I end every night in gratitude. What is that for you? What makes your heart expand? What is it for you? It's different for everybody. For me, I'm in nature every single morning. I meditate in different ways. I'm open to people teaching me new things, right? Trying different stuff. But I think ultimately it's just coming from love and allowing yourself to trust that you know what's best for you.
Beautiful. One of the things I love, because of these shows, I learn what inspires other people, because, we all need to fill our cup. And then I think in many ways I do these ways. And the first quote you gave me that inspires you: as long as you have certain desires about how it ought to be, you can't see how it is. And how profound is that statement? Tell me a little bit about why did you pick this, and how do you perceive this?
And I'm kind of in the trenches with this, because I was through positive intelligence, and I'm certified in positive intelligence as well. I've been in this journey of unfolding around judgment.
Oh,
okay, and really understanding that judgment is at the core of all our suffering, all of our suffering. And so I have been really stepping powerfully in that circle of being able to intercept my judgment. And what I've noticed,
intercept your judgment. That is very,
judgment.
that's very cool. Like, when you think about it that way, you could cut it off at the pass. Okay.
Cut it off at the pass. Like, well, first of all, recognizing one, how much we judge ourselves, others, and circumstances was huge for me. Understanding how I specifically show up in judgment, my unique style of judging, was super helpful. But when also understanding that judgment prevents us from seeing the whole picture. When that portion of our brain is activated, it's very black and white, because it's the survival portion of our brain that keeps us closed and safe. But what it doesn't access is all the colors of the rainbow, all the possibilities, the creator in us, the visionary, the ability to see beyond what we see initially and into other people's heart and soul. And so I really love this quote for that reason. As long as you have a certain desire, right? You're judging it, you want it to look a certain way, you're never going to see like all that's behind it and underneath it and around it. You're just focused on that one thing. So this has really been something that's been important to me this last couple of years.
Well, it's very interesting because I remember when we were working together at one point, and you said to me, you know, especially when my son was going to college, you're just like, you can't hold on to a vision for someone else's life because you want it that way. And I know that that is like a total paraphrase of the many deep conversations that we have, but it feels to me like it's this, you know, as long as you have certain desires and how you think it ought to unfold, you know, you can't unfold or you can't allow the beauty of what is or what can be. And I love that you added this today. It's beautiful. You can't be anything you want, but you can be everything you are, Jay Shetty. And I love this one too, because first of all, amen. Authenticity. Go ahead. Or what were you saying before? Congruency, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, first of all, I just love this. It was so funny because I was kind of searching for a quote card, and this isn't one of his most famous, but it's the one that spoke to me the loudest when I was listening to his book. I said, that's rather brilliant. This quote is rather brilliant. Man, stay in your lane of genius. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing.
Oh, I love that. Stay in your lane of genius. I love it.
We all are here for such a unique reason,
Yeah,
and no one in the whole wild universe is just like you. So just, oh man, embody that. I mean, often we get distracted, and especially in the coaching circles, I'll say specifically, just from my experience, we get distracted with the shiny object syndrome, right? Like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. But what's your strengths and gifts? What do you uniquely deliver to the world? What's your unique voice, right? So that's how I interpreted this for me, which, you know, yeah, I could probably do those things relatively well, but I'm great at what I'm doing right now.
Oh my God, I love it. What, stay in your lane of genius. Boom, drop some wisdom. My God, Lisa, that so resonates. It really is. It's really, I mean, you could still try and be curious, but know like the thing that feeds your soul. I love that. I love that. That's awesome. And finally, the other one that we have, and I do love this one, be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. Tell us a little bit about your perspective on this.
Well, this is everybody knows. But you know why everybody knows this one? It's the best quote ever. You know what I mean? Like, start with yourself. You want to be kind, be a little kinder today. You want to be around kind people, be a little bit kinder today. You want to be more adventurous, be a little more adventurous today. Like, you really model it. And I think that we know, especially as parents, and just I hope as humans in general, is people don't listen to what you say. They watch what you do.
Yeah.
So you want to embody that. You want to show people what that's like, especially influences on our children, right? So yeah, this one's just been in my life always. I think this is this favorite quote I've ever read, and I really try to embody this every day.
It's a really good wake-up call when you're trying to change other people. Like, you're like, you need to change, and then I can be happier. You know, be the change you wish to see in the world by work, like you just said, by being loving, being kind, and then see how what happens around you follows suit, or at least in your little sector of the world. I mean, I love it when my friend said last night, because she's a huge sustainability environmental person, and she's like, act local. Well, when the best local is you. You're like,
best local is you, right?
I love that. That's perfect. You know, I before I would be remiss if I didn't start talking to you about your retreats that you're doing. And I love the fact, you know, so we were talking about this, 2 years ago, or not even. And you started and you just hit the ground running, and everything started happening when you started saying, I'm going to do these retreats where I bring people into these safe spaces and see them flourish by virtue of what you have to teach and what you have to bring to the world. And you've done this already in Sedona once, is that right? Or how many retreats have you given at this point?
I'm going to be doing my third retreat in Sedona in 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh, 3 weeks. And that's not sold out yet, right? That's
still, that one's sold out. Sedona is sold out. Yeah. So all the retreats are sold out right now.
Okay. So we have sold out, and this next one, and even Costa Rica is sold out, correct?
Yeah, but we're opening dates in Costa Rica. So in April of 2024, there'll be some new dates. Actually, you can go to my website and see the new dates now. Sedona, and now we have Hawaii coming up in summer of 2024, and then Lake Tahoe, Nevada in the late summer of 2024.
So say yes to you, treat yourself. Is that your tagline for your retreats, or is there a name to your retreats?
Self-love retreats. Yeah.
Self-love
So it's selfloveretreats.net. You can see everything we got going on.
So for those people who are listening on the podcast, it's selfloveretreats.net, N-E-T. So go check it out. And if you're looking to go to Hawaii or all these wonderful places, she's going, well, the Costa Rica in 2024 for January is sold out, but Hawaii is in June of 2024. Lake Tahoe, August of 2024, and then you have Sedona again in September of 2024 of next year. I know if you're looking for a wonderful hit from Lisa, certainly you will leave there with much more than you would even imagine. It's connecting with like-minded women, and you immerse yourself in various activities to connect the mind, body, and spirit. Go to selfloveretreat.net to get more information on that. But I definitely think that lighting up every room with love is certainly a gift that she has. And certainly in this kind of environment, I absolutely think that you'll be inspired. So going back to my vision of the extraordinary person and why I have you here on my show today, one of the things I really do embrace is a spirit of learning. And you definitely are that. You're a life learner. Like people like that, they take in what they like around them and make it their own. And really, Drew, take that and pivot. So it's time to manifest, because you are certainly extraordinary in that realm. And you're a catalyst for others as well to start seeing their life differently and feeling differently, being the change you wish to see in the world. So what do you think is the one thing that actually moves you forward in life, Lisa?
Curiosity.
Oh, it is curiosity. Very
Yeah,
cool.
curiosity. I'm deeply curious about other ways of healing, different people's perspectives. I mean, this is kind of a new space for me of curiosity, and I've arrived there because I feel like I'm minimizing my judgment and I'm shifting into curiosity instead. Whereas I would have judged something before. Now I ask the question, why is it that you feel that way?
Yeah.
Why is it that you made that choice? And that's a really beautiful place to be. So yeah, curiosity is big for me right now. And then I just have the callings. I have very strong intuitive hits that I completely trust. And either they're going to work out in a wonderful way, which I'm happy to celebrate that mostly they do, or they're going to be this really great invitation to learn something powerful about myself. So it's a win-win.
So I have to ask you, because I love the callings, intuitive hits, and certainly around kindness, but you were asked to come on Ellen's show because of your work with kindness. And tell me a little bit about that, because I'm sure maybe people like heard it or maybe not heard it, but I'm curious. So
I was kind of blown away. I love helping people. I love helping people see the greatness in themselves. And I can see it pretty immediately in people, even if externally they're not exuding that. That's my gift. I can see the greatness in other people and help motivate them and inspire them to get there. And so I was just living life and helping people and loving it and being inspired by it. And I got a call from the Ellen show for her 60th birthday celebration. And they said, you have been nominated for your work of kindness. We read all the things that you've been doing and we're super inspired. And we want to Ellen wants to honor people who are going out in the world and spreading kindness. And you are one of them. So we'd love for you to come and be an invited guest in our audience. And she wants to celebrate with you.
Wow. And how was the experience itself?
It was mind blowing. I mean, first of all, Ellen, right? Like, oh my God. But I mean, I just, for those of you who may have mixed feelings on Ellen for whatever reasons over time, I mean, first of all, you're with people who are kindness ambassadors around the world. So you're meeting person after person of extraordinary kindness
so cool.
From very little means. Let's be clear. These are people who most times are just struggling themselves, but saying, you know what, I'm going to break that off and give you half. I'm so inspiring. So she has this whole amazing birthday celebration. I mean, Jennifer Aniston, Michelle Obama was there. I mean, we got to meet all these people. So I'm like, what? I'm like crying. I'm like dancing with Twitch and all of it, right? So, but at the end of her show, the cameras go off and Ellen comes out to the audience and she said, I have been blessed with incredible wealth and fame in my life. She's all, but I know that many of you have not. And I feel like I'm trying to do the best that I can, and I don't even think it's enough. But when I look out at all of you, you show up every day and you go out in your collective worlds and you just give and give and give. And she's all, I am completely inspired by you. She was like crying.
Love that.
Like,
Wow.
right? So it was such a great experience.
And I do think that things like that, and I will say, regardless of whatever you think about the Ellen Show, but experiences like that, being in the room with people like that, really do change your life. It gives you that maybe added momentum that you didn't have initially, or maybe you were weaning, and it filled your cup, it filled you up, so that you could turn the corner. A lot of people, saying someone sees me. They always say that one of the most important things is to see someone and make them feel special, and that you're proud of them. Like, how you show up in this world, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you that you keep going. I'm proud of you that you keep going towards your dreams. That's something that you're very good at as well. That greatness in others, but actually acknowledging and validating them as well. And it really does add to your, experience. You actually can celebrate, enjoy it more. Someone did that for you. They nominated you. So that was like this beautiful karmic circle of give and receive, for sure. I don't, I love this part because, one of the things I am very, very, very intentional in my life. And I know that when I'm not intentional, things go out of line, chaotic, all sorts of crazy, which is, I can't really judge it. It is what it is, I kind of want to, but when you know better, you do better, you can fine tune. But today, intentionally, I just wanted to be in the room with you. And that I still see you and I still adore you, and I think you're magic, and I wanted to make sure that you felt that way, especially because it's a celebration of friendship, and you're my interview this month. And we may not live near each other, but we've impacted each other's lives in many different ways, and we still do, afar, near, whatever. My question for you is, what was your intention today, and what number did you pick today in the magical guide?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question, because guess what my intention was? To be in receiving mode.
Oh, wow, I love it. Oh,
I
that's beautiful.
was like, I'm just going to receive. I don't know what my beautiful friend Meg has in store, but I'm like this. Bring
Okay.
it. Okay, and I picked 13.
And go ahead, read from 13 what resonates with you.
And I regret there.
Well, what is the insight on the top?
Hold on one second. We get there. 13. It is suffer in silence no longer.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. And what resonates in the passage?
Gosh, so much. Well, I mean, I think in terms of my life currently is my mom just passed a few weeks ago. And being in grief is kind of unfamiliar to me. I mean, like most people, I've been blessed not to have too many people in my life pass, but it's really been about me understanding how to be in relationship with this grief and to not wear the mask, right? A lot of times we don't want to burden people with our unhappiness. And I've come to a place where I just can't do that. I don't want to do that because I want to give place for these motions of grief to exist.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be me cheerfully, as my heart is broken, right? Like my heart is broken right now. So I'm not interested in doing that. And what's been really wonderful is it's also given permission for other people to do the same. So as I've shared my suffering in these last several weeks, people have bravely shared their suffering. And it's been this really beautiful collaboration of people having empathy for one another.
That's beautiful. That really is. I mean, talk about taking something that could really, wipe you out. Like, and I know that because I've gone through it. And, one of the reasons why I wrote my book was to make sure that someone else who was desperate did not feel so alone. But with regard to the suffer in silence no more component, like what you're doing now, the vulnerability. You're saying you want to dig deep dive into that profound vulnerability. I'm curious as to, and I don't know if there's lessons to learn. I don't know if there's, reasons to have, but my question with regard to where are you and how it impacts the who you are and the what you do, because you're no longer choosing to suffer in silence.
I'm not sure yet how to answer that question, because I'm kind of in the depths of the suffering right now, and definitely, I mean, my mom passed away 30 days ago, right, on August 1st. So I'm not quite sure, but I am being a careful observer right now of what's happening in my life and my heart and my experiences. And I will tell you, I will share that I partnered with my mom in dying. So I became her like a death doula for her.
Wow.
And I was able to better understand the purpose of suffering as we exit this world and help her come to terms with it. So there was a lot of things there that were offered to me that I haven't had an opportunity to fully process, but mostly it was just about releasing the fear around suffering,
Oh, yeah.
Not feeling like we're a victim to it, understanding that it has the potential to really expand us in really beautiful and powerful ways. We just have to get over the uncomfortableness of how it's presenting itself in its physical form. There's deep, deep spiritual growth once you're able to transcend that. And I'm really grateful I was able to help my mom do that.
Wow. What a beautiful share right now, because instead of running away, running toward, and then I think that goes along with the idea running toward those we love and the things we love and the places we love and running toward life. And I think that what I heard you just saying was that in her transition or transformation, you were in fact transformed yourself. And what you're going to do to share that with others is going to be outrageously amazing. And I do know you're going to make life here less suffering because of the permission that you're giving yourself and to others. Thank you for that. And wow, Lisa. Oh my goodness. So here we are. I want to remind everybody that it's really important to hear your emotions, like Lisa's been encouraging, and hear how your intuitive callings and your hits process in life. I wonder what that final inspiration is going to be that you give us all, so that we finish off the month of August proud. Like, I know that the people who love you are proud of you, and you are special and you're inspirational and you have so much to offer this world. And I'm so grateful that we have crossed paths. So receive that, Lisa, and give us all, and then we can receive your final inspiration so that we can go out onto our day and, be wonderful.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No pressure. No. No, I would just say again, I've said this a little bit earlier, but just accept all of you, accept everything that comes your way as an opportunity to learn and grow and become more deeply connected with yourselves and others through love. That's what we're all working towards. We're all working towards returning to the biggest, most expansive version of love that we came into this world being. One of the quotes that I really love that I didn't include, which is, it's not about trying to change who you are. It's about remembering who you are. And we are all love. We are all love.
I love that. And certainly you light up every room you enter with love. And I once again want to remind everybody here today that her retreats are available in 2024. So definitely go to selfloveretreats.net and check it out. Where can people contact you, Lisa, if they want to coach with you and be inspired by you and just experience you for sure?
Yes. You can find me at livehappycoaching.com.
livehappycoaching.com. Live, Live, happy, Happy, coaching, COACHING.com. So go check her out, reach out to her. If anything resonated to you or with you today in the show, please reach out to her because she is a vessel of love. And I'm sure that there are many things that we all learn from each other. And I know that you can learn, and that curious spirit that she has so much from her. Once again, the Magical Guide to Bliss has brought me, this wonderful interview with you, Lisa. And I encourage all of you to suffer in silence no more, for sure. Pursuant to Lisa's insight today, we'll all share and receive that. And also, one of my favorite things is, to be extraordinary, you have to accept you're extraordinary. And I love it. Stay in your lane of genius. That is my takeaway for today, more so than anything, because we all are the deliberate creators of our lives. Creators, we create things from our genius to share with others. And if we dream big and get inspired and get ready to manifest the life of our dreams, then this path and this journey toward wherever we're going is even going to be that much better. So say yes to you, retreat yourself. Go check out Self-Love Retreats. Check out Lisa and her amazing livelifecoaching.com. And I want to thank you to celebrate the last day of celebration of friendships with me. You definitely were and are the perfect guest. I send you so much love. And everybody, have a really wonderful rest of your August day. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Lisa.
Bye. Thanks, May.